what is going on is the line that I said many, many times in the last 1 hour, the first 1 hour of the IPL auction 2021. There's been some very interesting things that have happened. I'm Gaurav Kapur to talk us through what has happened in the first hour of this auction. I have Harsha Bhogle and Joy Bhattacharjya here with me. Of course, the big news is that Glenn Maxwell still gets his big payday and Chris Morris gets the biggest payday ever. And now I'm going to stop for a while and catch my breath because I'm very confused about a certain few things. And I've let Harsha and Joy start. Who wants to go first with the observations?
Sir, I just want to say one thing now.
Joy, sir.
Okay, sir. I just want to say one thing now. Now, officially, please don't call out once again for Mashraf and Murtaza in 2009. We bore that around our necks for a long, long time. But with this Maxwell buy, I think we are even now. You can never call us out again. Never, ever do that.
The only other business opportunity that I can think of, other than being released by your franchise, is to teach people to pronounce Punjab. I think I can make £1 million a year teaching people to say Punjab, because that is the most difficult word in the world to pronounce. Anyway.
But I'm just saying, it's quite easy because P-U-N, even if you break it up, pun, right?
No,
just
pun.
So pun.
Like
puns are what we have in these shows.
Anyway. Terrible. Punjab, for heaven's sake, Punjab. Anyway, Morris 16.25, not good enough at 10 crores, released.
Yeah.
Get 16.25. Maxwell, many divorces, many marriages.
Yeah, true. There you go. Base price was 75 lakhs, sold for 16.25. Yes, you're reading it correct. RCB was the previous season, and this season has gone to Rajasthan Royals. So they let him go at 10, and well, that's turned out well for Morris, didn't it? Turned out very well.
Yeah, in fact, RCB actually looked at each other and they stopped bidding at 9.75 exactly because they said, we cannot in any faith now go bid more than this and take him back and look like fools. So at 9.75, RCB officially closed, and at which point we thought MI is going to win it. And then out of the blue, RR comes, and then Punjab comes, and all sorts of, RCB is forgotten in the race. By that time, 3 other teams have come into it.
Yeah, and MI almost finished their entire budget on one player. I mean, at one point, if all the others had pulled out, MI would have had 2 or 3 crores left.
Yeah, they would have had to just pick just 0 bid players towards the end, right? They would just come back at like 7 in the evening or something and say, "Acha kaun bacha bhai? 1-1 crore mein de do hame 3 bowler." But sorry, Harsha, you were saying with Chris Morris, and you were.
Yeah, I mean, you're not good enough at 10, right? Which means people who have released you at 10 are saying maybe we can buy him back at a better price.
Yeah.
We don't see value for him at 10. This is what you're saying after seeing him for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
With Maxwell, you're seeing he's at 250s in his last 61 IPL innings.
I got another stat for you. Apparently, he didn't hit a single 6 in the previous season.
Yeah. So, there are some people that nature, God puts his hand on your head and says, go forth, go to the IPL. It is a promised land. It is a land of riches where gold and honey and whatever, all those poetic things flow, and just put your hands in. I mean, I don't mind. Look, every time I look at Maxwell, I think here is someone who's born to win matches at the IPL, born to win matches in T20. But there are 2 Maxwells. There's a Maxwell who plays for Australia, and there's a Maxwell who comes to the IPL. So I'm hoping for RCB's sake. I mean, it looks brilliant because he's the kind of player who will take the pressure off, a little bit at least, off Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers, because you got Maxwell to come, and there's a finisher they've always lacked. On paper, everything perfect. I'm hoping for Maxwell's sake. I'm hoping for RCB's sake. This is the year.
Essentially, they have replaced Chris Morris with Maxwell.
No, at 60% more money.
At 60% more money. I mean, they had Moeen Ali there, who they never used, and that's criminal because, we're all big fans of Moeen Ali, yes. His bowling, his batting, his fielding, just what he brings somehow. There's just something that I inherently like about him. And the few chances that he got, it's not like he did badly, the few chances he got for RCB, but it was just that he was not in the scheme of things. I just want to see what's going to happen here now, right? Because what are they going to do? Because they're definitely playing Josh Philippe because they don't have a wicket keeper, right? So they're playing Josh Philippe. They've made that evident by dropping Aaron Finch. They've got AB de Villiers, who's a obviously you write his name down right after Virat in the 11. Then you put Glenn Maxwell's name down, and then you need another foreign bowler, or you
got Kane Richardson as your death bowler.
Yeah.
My gut feel is that this price for Maxwell is going to impact two people. It's going to impact Josh Philippe, who might just see himself going out of the side, and AB de Villiers, who's already starting to do his buttocks to keep for one more season.
Yeah, wow. So again, a problem of plenty, right? It's the choice that you give yourself. But well, they obviously see value there. They see him fitting in. There's a role there for RCB. And Steve Smith, this was, I mean, look at it. It slow out of the blocks, everyone. What is it? The first two players not getting any bids. And then Steve Smith comes in. And RCB went for him, right? So I don't understand that they had Steve Smith and Glenn Maxwell both in their plans. Were they hoping to get both? They get both. They can't play both. And they put distinctly different players. So I don't understand.
No, also one bid for a top player sounds funny. Either I'm interested in Steve Smith or I'm not interested in Steve Smith.
Yeah.
I'm going there at 2 crores for him and somebody says 220 and I walk out of it. It doesn't tell me anything. I don't understand the logic of it. I'd say, okay, I'll go till 3. If 3 doesn't happen, it'll stop. But either I'm interested in Steve Smith or not. 1 crore is not going to kill my budget this way or that. So that was a bid that I found a bit paradoxical. These single bids are, chance pe dance kind of bids. It tells you that, you're going to take a player like Steve Smith. He has an impact on your team, even if you don't play him.
Yeah.
Getting somebody like Steve Smith in the dressing room is going to change the dynamics of it. For better, for worse, we don't know. So when you try and bid for a player like Steve Smith, you're not taking a 20 lakh local player and saying, "Chalo, I'll stick him into my dressing room. Let's see what happens." It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't play, nothing will happen. Yeah. It's a huge difference. So I just don't understand it.
Harsha, your thought on that? I didn't get it.
No, I mean they said, "Chalo." I mean, if we're getting a base price, let's take him. Let's have Steve Smith back at the IPL. It'll look very bad if Steve Smith's going unsold. But I mean, okay, seriously, I won't be surprised if Steve Smith doesn't turn up. He's gone from 12.5 to 2 crores, right? 2 crores you divide by 50 is $400,000. I mean, it's not a laughable, it's not an amount to be laughed at in Australia. Then there's taxes and all that. He's probably down to $250,000. He might well say, look, I mean, there's an Ashes series coming up later in the year. I don't know. Because from 12.5 to, it's like Gaurav Kapur suddenly getting only 1 crore per episode,
Yeah.
Well played.
I wouldn't show up. I'd just take a nap. I'm not going to show up for that. But where do you see him fitting in to DC's batting lineup?
No, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because they already have Shikhar Dhawan, they have Ajinkya Rahane, they have Steve Smith now. Alongside, they have Prithvi Shaw, they have
Sayyar, Rishabh Pant, Marcus Stoinis. Where does he fit in?
The only place he can fit in is if they tell him you're going to bat, you're going to open. And they're not playing Prithvi and he opens. That's the only slot that they can really take. Because otherwise,
I mean, that was the job he was doing. Or Marcus Stoinis. They just
so they'll push Stoinis back.
Many options can become an issue.
No, he can only play for Hetmeyer because they want to play Rabada, they want to play Nokia, they want to play Stoinis.
Yeah.
Only play for Hetmeyer.
So basically, they've got him in for Alex Carey because they dropped Alex Carey. They've got him in this. That's not a like for like at all. Smith is not batting at 5 or 6.
Exactly.
Confusing. Let's talk about Shivam Dube. We were sure that Shivam Dube would have some action that was going on. Let's have a look at how much he went for and who has picked him up. Remember, he was let go by RCB. RR has picked him up. 50 lakhs was the base price and 4.4 is what he's gone for. Joy, your thoughts on
interesting. I mean, I saw the way they were bidding for him. And look, again, remember what we talked about right at the start? A young core, which is going to be, people like Sangakkara are going to mentor a young core of players. So they're saying, okay, I've got Sanju, Samson, young players, 3, 4, 5, 6 young players, get them together, a couple of experienced international players. This is what we're going to do. This is the RR team. That's clearly the vision. So they've gone after a young player. They've got him. I mean, and I think the team that they went against was the not the Daredevils, the Delhi Capitals now. And they basically have got a situation where they also were saying that, okay, if I get a Dube at 7 or a 6 or a 7, maybe I don't play Hetmeyer for a few matches. He's my finisher or my designated finisher. Play Smith a bit earlier. And those are the only things I could think of. But logical from both teams, and that the price he went for, I think, is a very decent buy, because remember, there aren't that many good Indian players in the auction right now.
True. The Rajasthan Royals have done a fair bit of shopping this morning, haven't they? They have gone from, we used to call them the Moneyball team in the first 10 years. Moneyball team has gone. They're the big spenders now, baby. High Street. Show me the High Street. I want me some bling. Give me the big wheels. Give me the big wheels, and I'm coming home. Big spenders, yeah, Harsha.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, Stokes, Archer, Butler, Morris. That's your overseas combo, right? Stokes bats and bowls, Archer bowls and bats, Morris bats and bowls. So they're building these all-rounders. Shivam Dubey, because otherwise they had people like Mahipal Lomror, Manan Vora, Rian Parag. So they've got someone who can clear the boundary bat at maybe number 5 or thereabouts. So maybe that's why Dubey. But they've got a fantastic core now. I mean, with these 4 middle order players, I mean, surely you don't pay 16.25 and play David Miller, right? So Miller is looking at it and saying, right, I'll just take my check and go home. I'm not getting much time here.
True. So 2 other favorites of ours. There's Moeen Ali and Shakib Al Hasan. So let's have a look at Moeen, of course, had a bidding war himself, and he went for 7 crores finally, right?
Moeen Ali is the great story of the IPL. When all seems lost, the doors will open and opportunity will come knocking. The test match is over. Everything is gone. We've got 10 minutes, gentlemen. The gavel's about to bang. 10 minutes for the end of the test match. Can you hit 5 sixes in those 10 minutes? Yes, I can. I'll get 7 crores.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, he's gone to Chennai, which actually, they have Mitchell Santner there. The bowler bad option. Yes, it's interesting. Sorry, Joy.
No, I'm saying they just went on the same thing. If you saw CSK, they were hugely involved in the Maxwell bid as well.
Yeah.
So clearly they are looking for a spinning all-rounder. They're looking for a situation where they're saying, maybe not this year, next year, pitches are slow. We're going to have this guy who can sort of bowl 4 overs for us and also tonk the ball. So I think that's what they're looking at, because what they do is if they play spinning all-rounder instead of, say, a Shane Watson, because Watson stopped bowling towards the end, then what happens is they can replace Bravo by a pure bowler. That's how they can flip their balance around. So if they change one of their top order batsmen for a batting all-rounder, can they bring in or play both? They don't even need to buy a bowler. Play both Ngidi and Tahir, or play both Ngidi, Hazelwood and Tahir. Play those 3 and play this one batsman, and the rest of them are Indian players. So I think those are the kind of things they were looking at, and that's why batting all-rounder. An all-rounder made a huge amount of sense for CSK until they finally hit upon Moeen.
Well, Shakib, let's have a look at Shakib, because auction's about to begin again, and I'm sure there's a lot of action still to go. So let's look at Shakib. Goes back home. It's a homecoming, Joy.
Yeah, great buy. Only thing is that I hope they don't stick him again behind, because they've got 4 players, and if Russell is there all the time, I can't see how they're going to play him in the 11, because Cummins, Russell, Narayan and Morgan pick themselves. So
I think Harsha's saying he's playing in place of Narayan, is he? According to you, Harsha?
That's the only place he can fit in, because Morgan, Cummins are going to play, so is Andre Russell. If Russell's fit, he's going to play all 14, of course.
Where does he bat then? Does he bat at 3 for you then?
He bats anyway. Shakib bats 3 in ODI cricket for Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Who has scored more runs than anybody else, I think.
You open with Nitish Rana and Shubman Gill. You stick in Shakib at 3. You've got Captain Morgan at 4, Karthik at 5, 6. You have Russell, and then Pat Cummins becomes your 4th overseas player.
7th, yeah. That's 7, yeah.
So if
you can't play Loki then.
Don't play Loki.
If you got Shakib, Karthik, and Russell in your top 6, and Sunil Narayan not playing, and you've got 8 overs, a keeper, and 2 quality batsmen in your top 6.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Only thing, I don't know how long he's available. Given that Bangladesh players are going to go early, I don't know how long he's available. Anyway.
Okay, so that's been the action in the first hour. A lot of action, a lot of money is spent. And, the big one that has happened, of course, the big news has been up of 16 crores has been Chris Morris, and bought by the Rajasthan Royals. So that was the big one, of course. Where do the teams stand? Punjab so far hasn't had any bid successful. So look at that distance. Oh, sorry, they got David Malan. So no big bidding war. So they've still got in excess of 50 crores to shop. Now, this makes it so interesting because there's not going to be any humongous payday now, I'm guessing, right? Because you've got to have, I mean, a lot of the teams are just around the 10 crore mark, except there's Rajasthan. I really doubt if they're buying another really big buy.
My first reaction to that budget from Punjab Kings is that Mumbai Indians want fast bowlers, Punjab want fast bowlers. They'll start outbidding Mumbai for fast bowlers.
Yeah. And this,
it's going to be easy now for Kings because I don't really think they're going to sign a very big check for even a player that they really want, because the others have slots that they need to fill and they don't have, that much money. So they just got the luck of the draw may have just gone the way of the Kings.
I agree. I think Punjab is in pole position now to take from here on. Punjab controls the auction.
Yeah.
It's who they want. Nobody else can really bid against them. Punjab controls the auction. Have they missed out an opportunity? I don't think so. I think there are enough players. And remember, players can be bought back. Don't be surprised to see a lot of the players in the first set to be bought back right at the end.
Good call.
Happens in every auction where the players that did not get any bids in the first round, they can come back, and there's a second round, and teams can request for players to come back anonymously. You don't have to say who you're asking for, and then they just come back in the auction, and you can try and scoop them up for a good bargain at that point in time. Okay, well, that's all we have time for. Just want to remind you once that tomorrow evening there is a clubhouse session that we have for you youths. That's happening tomorrow, 19th of Feb at 8 p.m. So do join our room. They're going to come to my room, right? Really? They're not going to just show up at my door. Right, Joy? Oh, Harsha's done clubhouse, so he knows.
Oh, yeah, clubhouse.
Yeah. Look at it. Just please cut to Harsha immediately as he does his collar up unmillennial move. No millennials doing that. No millennials. Well, okay. We're going to see you in a bit on Cricbuzz Live. Just going to focus on the auction action, and then we're going to come back and talk about that, of course. Thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live.